Greetings to you in all languages. Thank you very much for coming to my YouTube channel. My name is Kamran Rohaimifar. I have been a teacher, educator, researcher, entrepreneur for almost 3 decades. I would like to have that pleasure and the honor to be able to share with you the knowledge that I have gained either through education or through first-hand exposure to real-life problems. The first of the lecture series that I would like to offer is on the topic of Introduction to Data Science. It is, as the title says, it is an introductory course. It's a basic course. We would like to expose you to the terminologies that are used and in this domain. Early on, you would have some exposures to some of the basic techniques and methods, some of the conclusions that you can draw from studying the data science as in a program. But of course, this is an introductory course, meaning that there are going to be follow-up courses, and perhaps even parallel courses that you could potentially take in the college or the university, and hopefully strengthen your knowledge. So please keep in mind that this is not supposed to be strong in mathematics or any other components related to that, or coding, for an example. Data science has 3 pillars that I would like to share with you. Allow me to have this website ready. Let's share the screen. If you take a look at this, there are 3 large circles. One of them, math and statistics, has been around for centuries. It is mature, well developed, has different disciplines within discipline. There is another one, computer science, which seems to be relatively new, almost half a century, I would say. But of course, in terms of principles, it has been around a little longer. And then there is something we call domain knowledge. In mathematics and statistics, you obviously need to bring some of the basic understanding of operations, vectors, matrices, and so on, filtering. And when you go to the computer science, eventually the purpose of a data science scientist is to utilize a computer. Therefore, the understanding is going to be programmed onto a computer, and therefore coding is a requirement for this for the course I'm trying to offer. And a domain expert or the domain knowledge is very important, because if you don't have the right question to ask, math and statistics are applied on what? You are going to write and program or code answer to a wrong question. And definitely this is going to be primary, and then you are going to basically utilize math in your thought process, and then of course you are going to use the coding into computer science onto the computer that you're utilizing. That's why the data science is an intersection of large, extremely comprehensive, potentially complex programs such as math and statistics. Computer science obviously is not limited to coding. It is extremely developed and has a huge impact on our daily life wherever you go. And then the domain expertise or domain knowledge is something that comes naturally. Now, let me explain who the audience of this recording is. The audience is supposed to be high school students, grade 11, grade 12, and potentially the first year entry level students who are coming to the college and university. Having said that, my understanding through engaging with some of you in the past is that you are not necessarily advanced in terms of math and statistics. What we require is vector operation, matrix operation, integration, derivative, basically, and many of the regular operations that you would be using, the priority of those operations, which is quite basic and elementary, you really need those stuff to get up with the data science basically courses and programs. Here we have different languages, not one. We have R language, we have MATLAB, we have C, C++, and of course, very interesting program that is attracting attention, and that is Python, and that's another part. Apparently, many of you, the targeted audience, have not been exposed to coding in the past. Those of you who are exposed in the coding on the coding domain, I'm not referring to computer science. Coding is just one of these pixels in this circle, by the way. So this circle is extremely large. Now, those of you who are exposed to coding are usually because that you have taken some extracurriculum programs, either through paid institutions, paid program through different institutions at the middle school or high school or even elementary school, or potentially you have been learning on your own by watching the YouTube. Tons of material available on YouTube, and therefore you could potentially still catch up on that and learn. And then the domain knowledge actually comes through progression in life, through being exposed in a real life problem. So being a person who is 16 years old, 17 years old, 18 years old, 19, 20 perhaps, your exposure to many of the problems are going to be limited. But the way you're going to put the problem at hand under the microscope is almost the same. And you become mature as you apply that kind of sequence of processes on the incoming data in between, and then presenting and visualizing at the end. That's going to help you to understand the domain even better and better. Now, having known that the audience are not necessarily strong in math or coding and perhaps the domain's knowledge, there is going to be a remedial program, a transitional program, where some of these basic components of each of these three circles will be discussed, and hopefully you could potentially catch up on those trains. And the intention is, by the time we start a serious data science course, even introductory data science course, almost everybody are of the same level of understanding in each of them. Data science, once again, is an intersection of math and statistics, computer science, and the domain knowledge. These three pillars are going to be repeated, and I'm going to remind you as I go into different segments of my lecture series. Keep in mind, please, that the follow-up courses are going to take you deeper and deeper into math and statistics and their application into real-life problems. And as well, your coding skills are going to enhance quite drastically as you move to the follow-up courses wherever you go and apply in your domain of interest. One thing I wanted to share with you, and that's the quality of the recording that you are going to see. And please keep in mind that as the recording are happening, and basically you watch some of these recording on site, keep in mind that basically you go to the setting. It happens so that it takes for a YouTube channel to process that. If the recording is long, obviously that's going to take a couple of days, as a matter of fact, to process that. By the time that the processing is complete, you could potentially go into the quality and choose the maximum quality available. Now, if we go to another one that I had, and this one, YouTube did a favor to me on this, and what happens, you could potentially go here and change the quality even into HD. So take a look at this. When you have HD quality, it's going to help, because if you don't have HD quality set on your side, You will not be able to read the text correctly. They are going to look blurry and so on. On my end, what did I do? On my end, I made sure that I'm going to set my Zoom recording to the option of called enabled HT. And I'm going to make sure that it's going to be eventually of good quality as best as we could, considering the camera, the webcam I have, the conversion that might happen in the YouTube channel and so on. I hope everything is going to turn out to your satisfaction. Thank you very much, and please come and attend the next lecture. Thank you.